Howdy. Welcome back, you bunch of string picking guys and gals. So how you doing? You okay today? And welcome to Obscene Studio, home of the String Picker channel. Well, guys, I know you've seen this one right here on this channel before, but guess what? I'm working on it again. My son brought this over to me, and I just wanted to give it a little bit of a follow-up from where he had gotten this bass guitar and brought it over here. And if you guys remember, I will link the video in the description of when I first got this and the shape that it was in. It was really, really in bad shape. It just had like years of dust on it. And I cleaned everything up, put some new strings on it, and I'm just really surprised with this bass. It's just a really, really nice bass guitar. Well, when he brought it over, I had played a song with it, and everything seemed to be working just fine. I was just like really impressed with this bass and have been ever since he got it. And I thought, man, this thing is just, it's sounding good. It's playing good. I love this bass. These Schecter Raiden Special 5s have got the reputation for being workhorses. People love these basses because they can take them out and they just absolutely will not quit. These are really good basses. And although he's owned it very little time, I thought, well, this is perfect. Well, he brought it over and I decided, I'm going to cover a song with it for a group that I'm in on Facebook. And I got to playing it and everything. Well, yesterday I had broken it out and played it a little bit more. And today, right before filming this cover at the front of this, which is to a backing track, by the way, you guys need to go out on YouTube and check out a lot of the backing tracks on YouTube. There's some great ones. Elevated Jam Tracks is one of my favorite for guitar. This was a random backing track for bass, and it was by a channel called Max Backing Track. So I used that and played bass along with it, kind of a hard rocky type thing. It was fairly easy to do. I'm not really much of a bass player, but I noticed something. That thing right there, it's not working. That's right. The tone knob does not work. Spins kind of loose and free compared to the other two. I don't know why it's doing that, but it does spin loose and free. And when you, like on a bass, I always hit that G string right there, and then I dial it back to C, This has a push-pull in it. The push-pull still works. However, the tone part of it does not. So I'm going to get into this thing today, and we're going to look on the inside of it and see if we can't figure out what's going on with this. Because even though bass, I never play with the tone knob on the bass. Usually I just dial in EQs on the amp or on pedals or whatever. So, but anyway, we're going to get into that today. Also, a lot of things have been going on in the studio. I've done a lot of cool things lately and things that I've not ever done before. And I'm really getting used to DAWs and stuff like that. I found a DAW that came with a new interface that I got. I tell you what, let me walk you through it right now. This is the signal chain. Of course, we are going from the bass to the pedal board that I have on the desk. This is the pedal board that I done in a couple of videos ago. I put the Q Baby on there. And so we come out of the pedal board and we go into my Fender 100 Rumble. This thing is a powerhouse. I love this thing. And it come in direct line out from the back of that amp into the Focusrite Scarlett Solo Gen 3. And from there, we come out from that and go into the mixing board on channels 4 and 5. And then we come out of the mixing board straight to you guys. And then the Scarlett Focusrite goes straight into my computer where I recorded the bass track on a DAW that I am using that I do not recommend. It is extremely hard. The learning curve is terrible on this thing. It's like it's unreal. I mean, just trying to figure it out is just, it's crazy. But the DAW is called Ableton Light, and it is very, very complicated. I'm doing it just recording single tracks only and exporting them and then putting them in with my video editor to kind of make my sound a little bit better as I go through some of these demos that you guys hear on these basses. And, let's face it, I'm an old guy, I mean, this stuff is like, I have a sense of accomplishment here, because I'm figuring stuff out as I go, and I feel a little bit accomplished when I can get something to work right. So that's what I have in store for you today, is that demo, the whole signal chain for that demo, and then we're going to get this bass up here and we're going to figure out what is going on with that stupid tone knob. I've had it. Okay. First thing we're going to do is get all these screws out here. 12 string pickers. I hope that you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day. I am doing just fine because I'm doing what I love. And what I love is tinkering with music gear. And this is okay. All right. I thought that didn't have a tone capacitor, but it does. Let me get that thing out there and look at it. Don't you love when you're right in the middle of filming and you get like a coughing fit, like you're hacking a hairball or something or another? I'm telling you what, you're talking about aggravating. Now, that is aggravating. But as I was saying before my throat so rudely interrupted me, is I am having a fantastic day because I am doing what I love. And that's being right here in this studio. Yeah, that might be an issue right there. What do you think about that? Pulled right out of there. And that didn't take but very little force to do. No wonder the thing ain't working. So, what we're going to do is go ahead and finish taking this thing out and putting another one in. By the way, if you guys, I don't know if you were around for the last video, but I'm going to go ahead and show you again anyway. I don't think that I even done it in the last video. I might have, but this thing was very, very impressive when it came to the output of these pickups. I'll show you the output on these pickups though. These things, they're unbelievable. But we'll do it after we get a new push pull in here because I want you to see them split too. Because this, believe it or not, does have a push pull knob. I don't get that, like, I don't know. That just bewilders me. That tone is laid right up against the body. But yeah, this is just a fantastic, fantastic bass. Okay, I had to pause for a minute because I couldn't remember where I put these things at. And something is off with this. I'm not sure what is going on, but maybe I can crop in and you guys can see this. Turn it around this way. Okay, they've got all the black from these wires coming into the lug that is on the bottom right here, soldered to that. And they have the white coming into the center right here. And then on this side, they've got the tone capacitor run to the top two lugs. No, I'm wrong. To the middle lugs. And that's usually where I put the extra wires from the pickup, is on these middle two, and then run the ground to the top two. I'm not sure if that's got anything to do with it. I don't know. I don't think it's right though. I think what I'm going to do is wire it up how I usually wire it up and just be done with it there, because that makes no sense to me. I don't know why I don't know why they've done that. But now I am no wiring genius. I usually have to look up the diagrams on stuff, and bass may be different than your standard guitar. I don't know. And being as this is a bass, I am going to put a 22 on it. That's going to get it dark. Can always change it later if it's not to my liking. But yeah, I don't get that. I really don't. I don't understand why they have that wired up that way. If you know, because I don't know. Maybe it's the reason why the tone knob wasn't working is because they had the capacitor in a different spot. The capacitor is running out. Like, this is all wrong to me. This is supposed to be the hot. This is where the tone capacitor is supposed to be the hot. And that's where the white wires are supposed to run into. I don't get it. But there's one way we can find out. We can just go right ahead and do this thing and see if we can't get it to doing right. Okay, we've got us some solder put on the new push-pull pod here. And we are just taking off the wires from this one. I don't understand this. And I may be getting this wrong, guys. And if I am, I apologize. But I tell you what, we're going to figure out how the right way is, because I'm going to do it my way to start. And then we're going to do different if it don't work. But this is how they've got it. And any push-pull that I have ever put in, I always put the extra 2 wires out of 4 and 5 wire pickups in those center lugs, and I run the ground across the top. That's how I've done it every single time that I have done push-pulls. And they've always worked like that. And I've always put this on this side. This side right here, that's like running right into the hot lug, and I don't get that either. So, but I could be wrong, but we're going to find out, because that's just garbage. And I knowed it was spinning in there. It was just really loose. I don't know if whoever wired that up, if they knew what they were doing, or and maybe they do know what they're doing. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that's getting it wrong. I don't know. But I will tell you this. I'm going to wire it up my way. And once I wire it up my way, we'll check it, see if it's working. And if it is, then we're definitely going to, we'll be in a position to know for sure at that point. I can always go back and try to wire it up the way that they had it wired up, but I don't know. That's just, it's odd to me. It's just odd. It's making me think. So let's go ahead and put this tone capacitor on the way I usually put them on. Feel the fire rise. Together we stand and we'll reach new heights. Well, hello, string, because you know what to do. In this obscene studio, I'll tear right through. This is our channel, we're here to shine. Guitars in hand, we're crossing every line. Let the strings ring out, feel the pulse, the beat. We're rising higher, never taking a seat. From the first note to the last, we're never done. This is the anthem for everyone. Power, turn it up. Pick up the bass, here we go, let it roll. Power and fire, we're taking control. It's some things studio, we stand tall. Strength and the shadow will never fall. Well, hello, string pickers, you know what to do. In this obscene studio, I'll tear right through. This is our channel, we're here. Okay, as you see on a lot of videos, one eternity later. And I'm sorry this is such a mess. I have had to solder and resolder so many times, it's not even funny. To start out, they had the pickup wires coming in on the top here, and then they had the bottom right here in the middle, had that grounded out. the tone capacitor was in here was wired up in a completely soldered in a completely different place. And so what I ended up having to do was solder it to the top two lugs here, run it over and ground to the body, and then come up to the center lug. And now it has tone control. I'll plug it up in a second and show you once I get everything buttoned back up. Seems like every time I work on an instrument, the mess that I create gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I cannot, for the life of me, keep up with nothing on this desk. Okay, we're going to take a look at the pickups real quick. Make sure that they are still splitting. I want you guys to see this because this bass has some really, really hot pickups. Like, it's unbelievably hot. I know that there's probably some out there that's hotter, you know, but I mean, just this thing is unbelievable. Okay, so there is no selector switch. You turn the volume up on the actual pickup that you're using. So the bridge pickup, okay, had to get back in there. A little hot wire come off one of my volume pots, so I had to put that back on real quick. I guess wiggling it around so much caused it to break. Okay, so what I wanted to do was show you guys what these pickups are putting out. So right now we are looking at the bridge pickup. I don't know if you guys can see that. If not, I'll crop in on it, but let me get my hand off the guitar. We're at 1477. Then that's on the bridge. Now split brings it down to 998, which is kind of weird because I thought splitting would split it completely in half, but I guess with these kind of pickups, I don't know. So let's turn the volume down there. The neck pickup is 1372.73. Split that and we're at 949. So, and everything works again. All of the tone control is back. I can dial the tone up and down. I know that on bass, everybody's like, well, you got such low tone anyway. Why do you want to even mess with that? Because I'm a tone chaser. So I'm figuring that that is the whole reason why whoever, be it the company or whoever put this in, I don't think that the company put that in. That was done shady. Like, I don't know how. Then again, maybe I'm wrong. For, you know, maybe guitar's different than bass. I don't know, but I've never seen a push-pull wired up like that. That's just beyond me. And it'd been in there a while, but I wondered why I didn't have any tone control, and that was the reason why it wasn't adjusting the tone at all. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a room sound because I feel like we could appreciate the Fender Rumble for what it is. This amp is just amazing. I've done a video on this before. Go back and check that out, and you guys can see that, you know, this thing, it's just awesome. I love it. So what I'm going to do is just run through a little bit of playing here, and a little bit of EQ on. Gotta love that low B string. That is it, guys. That is all that we're doing to this one. I have sort of mixed feelings about this. That tone, I just ain't, I'm not all about that. I really ain't. It needs a new bridge. It just needs some stuff done to it. I think that if it was mine and I was going to do the mods myself, that I would do it a whole lot different than this. I really don't even think that this thing needs a push-pull. I really don't. I mean, I know those pickups are hot and everything, but on a bass, it's okay if you split the coil and you dial the tone back. You get a little bit darker at like half the output, a little over half the output from what we've seen. And I also think that just a regular tone knob here and these two volume knobs, the volume knobs, as soon as you come off of them, they just lose everything. At like 9 and 10, they need treble bleeds really bad. I mean, as soon as you back it off, like from 10 to 8, it like goes dark. You can't hear nothing anymore. And it's just, it needs some stuff done to it. Who knows? I might wind up with it. And if I do, I might do some work to it. May rewire all of that and do something with it that'll make it a little more, put some flat wounds on it, do some stuff like that to it. I think that it would be a really nice bass. It's just there's a lot of unnecessary stuff, if you know what I'm saying. It's just not really necessary. But, for what it is, it's a nice bass. I really like it. I could play that thing all day long, just like I can my Ibanez Tallman. I really like the Ibanez Tallman. That thing is just fire. For what it is, it's amazing. I'd like to get some flat wounds to put on it. I think flat wounds would be the way to go on that one and that one. Flat wounds are expensive. I'm just going to tell you, especially the Adarios. I think I give like $56 for something other and $56 for the old fretless that I used to have. Just about cost me an arm and a leg. So yeah, but they're just totally worth it. Just totally worth it. They play and they sound so good, and they're not rough on your fingers at all, and they're just, you can just move across them. There's no string talk at all. They're just great. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Just a little sit around the house and kind of mess with stuff day, and run across that little problem. Thought I'd fix that. Finally got it fixed. One of these days, I'm going to talk my son out of that bass guitar, and when I do, I'm going to do a lot of stuff to it. I think it needs a lot of stuff done to make it great. Anyway, that's all I got. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If you're new here, like and subscribe, by the way. Welcome to the String Picker channel. That I pray that you and yours are having the most blessed day ever, and I pray that God is with you all. Until next time, later. Let's bet some strange girls and boys. Well, hello, string pickers, you know what to do in this obscene studio.